Nicole Stewart, and we are shaping better behavior one talk at a time.
This season is made possible through support from the New England Center for Children. The New England Center for Children, for over the past 50 years, has been the worldwide leader in autism and education research. Through our schools, clinics, consulting services, and the ACE ABA software system, we are shaping a more inclusive future for all.
Amazing. So, Christina, I'm so excited today because we have a really great guest, Rachel Morelli, who is a board certified behavior analyst and certified autism travel professional and independent travel advisor. And she has built a unique bridge between behavior analysis and accessible travel, which, I'm like obsessed with. With extensive experience supporting families, Rachel brings a deep understanding of behavior, routines, sensory needs, and family dynamics into the travel planning process. She specializes in helping families feel confident traveling by providing education, preparation, and personalized planning designed to reduce stress and increase quality of life. Through her work, Rachel advocates for travel as more than a luxury. It's an opportunity for connection, skill generalization, independence, and meaningful family memories. I'm like obsessed. Welcome, Rachel. I'm like so excited because I love traveling. I think I want to do what you do.
Yes.
So it's really a job interview for me, is what I'm going to tell you.
Are you guys hiring?
Yeah. Are you hiring? Do you need
I
me?
mean, I've had a lot of BCBAs and others in our field reach out asking how they can be involved. So I'm trying to figure out a way that maybe we can make this something really big in our field.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I love that you were able to kind of still stay in the field of autism, but also expand like that kind of scope. So
Yeah.
share like how you have decided to get into traveling.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always loved traveling. I've traveled since I was a kid. So travel's like always been a part of my life. And I've been a BCBA for about 11 years now, like in the field for 15. And one of my roles as a BCBA was we used like safety care behavior management, and I was the parent trainer. And through the parent training, part of that was creating like a safety plan for families. And we would do like some tips and stuff for like road trips or things like that. But I never had like the resources to share for like an actual family vacation and like, let's create a plan for a family vacation. So I always like had that in the back of my mind. And I have 3 kids. So my maternity leave for my last one, I was like, you know what? Like with the 3 kids, it's a lot working full time BCBA. Like, what else can I do?
Right?
So I started looking into the travel advisor piece. I found Travelmation, who has a director of accessible travel. And I said, you know what, this seems like a good fit. Let me see what this is all about. So, I mean, ultimately, like I'm a travel advisor I can plan travel for anyone. So that's kind of how it started. And then I started going through like there's different certifications for travel advisors, like the Certified Autism Professional one. So I started going through those and realizing that like I already had so many of the background skills that they were teaching that I felt like, you know what, as a BCBA, like I can even take this to the next level because they were talking about the trip itself, but they're not talking about the prerequisite skills that BCBA should be like working on in homes and things like that
Mm-hmm.
to help these families prepare for travel. So I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on accessible travel. I still can, if you're a BCBA and need help with trips, I can still help with that. But like the autism families, like that's what I want to help. I like working with the children. I like working with the families. And being a full time BCBA was a little much for me. So I'm able to kind of like combine my passion
Yeah.
of working with the families and travel and really support these families and give them the resources that are out there. So that's kind of how I got to where I am now.
Especially since a lot of families traveling could be so hard, right? One
Mm-hmm.
of my families, the mom was going to school in Barbados. So I was telling them, I'm like, oh my gosh, Bradley Airport has a practice flight thing, but also I was sharing with them about the green lanyard.
Yes.
So can you kind of educate our community about all the different resources that they could request, like the green lanyard and
Yes.
also searching all
Yeah,
those.
so the Green Lanyard is like the sunflower program. So it was actually on the news here in Connecticut today. I saw it
Ooh,
pop
that's
up.
cool.
Yeah, because our local airport, Bradley International Airport, was actually the first airport within the country to get an autism certification. So they
Wow.
have,
Connecticut.
yeah, yeah. So they've gone through a certification program where all the staff are certified in supporting families and individuals with autism. And yeah, and the Sunflower program what that is you have like the lanyard with like the little card, and it's not just autism, it can be other disabilities. Hidden disabilities is really what it is supposed to represent, and you have that on. So like say you're going through TSA, they may stop, or they should stop and say like, hey, do you need any help? A lot of times TSA agents are quickly rushing you through. If they see that lanyard, they're more likely to be like, not pressure you to quickly get your bags up, get things moving. So it's just like a symbol to let them know, like, hey, I have a disability. Please give me some extra time, or ask if I need assistance, things like that. So that's what that is. Another piece of like airport is TSA Cares. So TSA Cares is a TSA agent that helps you get through the security and to your gate. 72 hours prior to your trip, you can fill out a form on their website, the government website, or you can call them and get that set up so that you have an agent to meet you there and help you get through security. I recommend, there's so many, if people have credit cards, there's so many travel credit cards out there, and some of those travel credit cards come with a year of TSA pre-check. So then yeah. So then you're not having to fork over that expense. And if they're younger kids, a parent can go through with the younger kids. The younger kids don't have to have their own. So I've had families where like just the mom got it and she brought the kids through, and then the dad met them once they were like settled, they got their food and like kind of could hang out. But they didn't have to wait in a long line because the TSA, the pre-check, you get to go much quicker. So that's a nice little feature for some families too, for the airlines. I mean, we can expand beyond airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at like, there's so many different types of vacation. So how about I'll start with theme parks. The biggest one, so Disney is huge. Walt Disney World is one of the biggest requests I get within our families in the autism community.
Mm-hmm.
And they often want to go, but we all know Disney is very crowded. There's long lines for some of the rides. So those are things that families are really nervous about. So
Sure.
Disney does have the disability pass. So you can
Mm-hmm.
qualify for this. It's 60 days prior to your trip. You set up an interview, they go through an interview process with you, and then you see if you qualify. And then you have the pass to be able to, like, almost, it's like the skip the line pass where you don't have to wait in the long lines. You get a time to go to the ride, and then you wait in the lightning lane, which maybe 10 minutes. I haven't waited much longer than that for majority of the rides. So it's a much shorter, because I mean, sometimes I see wait times over an hour for some
Right.
rides. So that's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
difference.
yeah. Can I ask you, has the
Yeah.
process changed? Because I feel like I know some people who went to Disney maybe a few years ago and their child has ADHD and they were able to do the lightning pass, but I think has it changed over the year? Like, how has that process evolved? And is it
Yeah,
harder for families to prove need?
it is. It's gotten a lot more challenging. Unfortunately, they are having to really pick out which families they feel qualify and really need
Mm-hmm.
it. I think, unfortunately, it was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And so they have had to really try to weed out who they think will need it more than others. I mean, honestly, when I'm talking to families, a lot of them, I mean, their kids do have tantrums. They've had meltdowns in the middle of a grocery store. And so
Right.
I say go into that interview as if that could be the case when you're at line in Disney. Let
Right.
them know the most challenging days you have, because that could be while you're on vacation. So let's not sugarcoat it and say like, yeah, it's been a little while. My kid's been fine. We can get on an airplane, because then you're not going to qualify. Like if you really need the pass, then you need to explain those situations of why. It could be you can't even go to the grocery store with them because they have a challenging
All
time.
right. Right. And Disney, I mean, like, let's add all the setting events. It's hot, it's crowded, it's noisy, it's overstimulating. You're eating different foods. So,
There's
like,
characters walking
you're going to
around.
be, yeah, you're going to be more likely to have a tantrum. Yes, maybe you haven't had one in a while, but like, I know traveling with my kids and not at Disney, they're more likely to have behavioral issues traveling than
Yeah.
at home. So I feel like families should recommend, right? Should kind of keep that in mind is like, yeah, your kid might be doing really well now, but like what happens when you've added all of these other things? How
Yeah.
are they gonna wait in line? Yeah. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, often like the flights from Bradley down to Disney are early morning flights. Like in 2 weeks, I'm going down there on a 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
So like if your kid's waking up early, like how long is that going to throw off their sleep
Yeah.
schedule? And like that can be a contributing factor. So there's so many pieces that you think things are going well, but it could one variable change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so Disney is one park. Universal has what we IBCCES is the organization, and they have an accessibility card. So you apply for that card, and then you can use that at Universal, Six Flags parks.
I
Also,
didn't know
that
Six Flags.
yeah, so that can be used there. And then there's some other parks that accept that accessibility card as well. But yeah, Universal, especially with the new Epic, like Mario Land and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that's popular. I have one family, I think the son, he said is like 40 and like he loves Nintendo. So like they're going to Universal just like for that part of the park really.
Aw,
Yeah, yeah. So it'll
I
be his
love
first
that.
vacation.
Have you
Wow.
been to Sesame Place?
I have not, no.
Aren't they autism friendly too?
They are. So the IBCCS, yeah, they are part of that.
A few years ago when my son was maybe 4 or 5, my younger son, I have to tell you, I don't feel like I noticed anything particularly standoutish. I think maybe more, and I guess that's like another piece is like a lot of these things aren't necessarily obvious.
Yeah.
You kind of have to do the work to find them, right?
Yeah. And some places I would say are better than others. I know, I can't remember if it was Hershey Park or Sesame. Someone was telling me that like the sensory room, it had no windows. Like it was very like dark. I don't think there was furniture. So like they're trying, but it's
Yeah.
just not quite there yet.
Cooking
Yet.
process.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
shaping process, yeah.
Often, like if there's like a diaper changing, like
Yeah,
nursery
yeah.
like area, there may be near that. But I mean, I haven't booked anyone for Hershey, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's super fun. I do love her. I have to tell you, we had a great time at Hershey.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned booking. So like what are like your top three locations if a family's looking to travel
Yeah.
that they would
So
suggest?
Disney World is very popular. Cruising is popular. You typically like
Mhm.
Royal Caribbean is one of the more accommodating, but also a lot of families do like the Disney cruises. I will say Royal Caribbean. So one piece that is nice is Autism on the Seas, which is an
Mhm.
organization. They provide respite care on the cruise ships. Looping back to Disney, they also will be next year providing 4 stays at Disney. We have a June, end of June, early July, August, October, and a December stay where respite will be provided for families.
Wow.
Yeah, obviously it comes with an expense. So I have to like let families know that piece that you're paying like your package at Disney or on the cruise, you're paying your cruise price and then you're paying a service fee for the respite care. It's a you can have a one-on-one, you could pay additional for that. So it's a really great support for families. I feel like Nicole, you had a question. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering like let's say I'm an RBT, can that be my job? Could I go do that?
Yeah, so Autism on the Seas does take applications for like staff. So if you wanted to, you could. It's a volunteer. So you do pay, I believe, for your flights. The cruise is covered, but you're there volunteering and supporting the family. So I mean, they've got, I think, thousands of people that are interested in the volunteer piece. And then you go on their site and you kind of pick when you're available for the events, and then they'll let you know if you're selected to be one of the staff. So yeah, it's a really cool little side job like thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
like
really. I mean, you're not
opportunity.
getting
It's
paid, but
Can
you get
you,
experience.
for the families that might just have received a diagnosis or anyone that's interested, can you explain what respite care is? Because I
Yeah,
know
of
people
course.
don't know what.
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks a little different per like place. So I'll like at Disney World, what they do is they have a one-on-one in the parks with the family. So if there's 1 or 2 kids, it's typically one staff. If it's more than that, they recommend an additional staff member for your family. So they are there to support, like if a kiddo maybe doesn't want to go on a ride, they can be there for them. If they're an eloper, maybe that staff is focused with that kiddo while the family tends to their other kids, like just so it's an extra hand.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They also, in the evenings, have 2 hours where the staff stay in the room with the kids that are getting the respite services. So your hotel room becomes like the respite room. And the parents can kind of go out for, like, if they want to go get dinner by themselves, or maybe just relax or go back to the
Amazing.
parks, do some of the rides. So it's like a couple hours where the parents can have like a little bit of a break each night. So, I mean, that's amazing on a vacation. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the Disney piece. For cruising, what they do is they rent out like the conference rooms on the cruise ships typically. And so then it's everyone is kind of grouped together for the respite, and they'll have some during the day, some at night, kind of depends on if they're at port or sailing that day.
Mhm.
Dinners are all together on cruise ships, so they'll save like a block of the area in the dining room, and the families can all be together there, and the staff are there. So say a kiddo
Mm-hmm.
needs to go for a walk during dinner time, a staff member can take them, and the parents don't have to leave their meal and come back to a cold meal.
Which is amazing. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it really is.
yeah. It's like
I mean,
these tiny
also
little
like,
things.
yeah, and also like they then kind of like, I mean, sometimes on the cruise ship they're coming around dancing, singing, like if that's maybe not something we want, like that little corner they can kind of try to keep a little quieter. For shows, they have like the seating for them so they don't have to worry about getting there early, and like for some
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
shows the seating, it can be challenging to get, so they have their own little seating areas. When they're in port, there's one day they do like a beach trip as a group, so then the family can like have staff there at the beach with them to support them.
Okay, I have a question because you brought something up, right? The
Yes.
challenges. So obviously, a lot of our learners have really strict diets, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if someone's interested in booking with you, how can you guys support with that?
We typically get in touch with like the special services to let them know, like, hey, this kid is going to have this diet constraint, and then they'll put notes into like at dining that note can be in there. And then, I mean, the buffets are nice because you kind of have options, but if they need to know exactly what is in what, then they can get that information for them. And Disney's
Yeah.
also great with allergies as well. I mean, even like if I'm going to order a quick service meal at Disney World, I can scroll all the way down in the quick service and it'll have the different allergies broken up. So if I have an egg allergy, I can see what is egg free and select from that egg free allergy, or a dairy allergy. So they do
Wow.
have that in that Disney app already.
So where my passion lies in terms of traveling and like the intersection of like being a BCBA and traveling is helping families. I'm like, I don't even know where to start with this. Helping families be prepared to travel and helping kids be prepared to travel. Right. So what do you do? How do you individualize it? How do you get families ready to go on vacation? And like what skill do you teach kids skills? What do you do?
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like where I'm looking at, like how can we expand this? Because right
Mm-hmm.
now, like I'll have the individual calls with the families and see like what are their needs. Is it a family who wants to do a cruise but they do need that respite service, or is it something they feel they can do on their own? They just need some other supports in place, like making sure it's quiet dining on the cruise ship, things like that. Ultimately, my goal is like we have safety assessments. We have like all of these types of assessments that we do within our field. Like why don't we have a travel assessment so we can really
Mm-hmm.
narrow down what,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we can do as a BCBA, we do the assessment and then say, okay, this family says they want to go on a beach trip where there's pools and the beach, but this kiddo doesn't know how to swim. They are an eloper, so water safety could be a concern. So let's focus on like these things as the prerequisite skills. We're doing swim lessons prior, like to them booking a trip. We're doing
Exposing
other
them
things.
to wetness, especially their sensory sensitivities.
Yeah. Like
Regulation safety
Yeah.
to target all these areas too, which is
Yeah,
important.
there's a lot of things that you can work on. And I mean, whenever I was working with families, like we would have goals to wait in line and we'd practice at the grocery store. That may not be enough if you're having to go into a TSA line. It's going to look a lot different than the grocery store.
so true.
So making sure we're not stopping at, okay, they mastered waiting in line because they can wait 5 people back at a grocery store. Like we got to look at expanding that so these families, whatever trip they really want to do, those skills are able to be met. I try to give like supports, like I mean, we have, as my company, we have like a social story for Disney. I send families like in Canva, like a little tattoo that has phone numbers that they can put on a child's arm just in case they do
Mm.
bolt. Like that's
Yeah,
obviously
smart.
not proactive, but it's just like those safety pieces so that families do feel more comfortable. On cruise ships, there's certain alarms you can put on the sliding door if you have a balcony. So if that door's
Mm-hmm.
open, the alarm's going off, and that helps families feel more comfortable. So just those types of things I give. But I mean, as our field like is starting to look at how we can support families with travel, there is so much more we can do. And that's where I really want to
Mm-hmm.
like build something bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I specialize in ADHD more than autism. I mean, I started at the New England Center for Children, so I'm very well trained in autism as well. But my passion is in working with families with kids with ADHD, which I think is a little bit of a different thing, but it's the same principle. Like, I feel like, and I think my own personal story of getting me and my kids, it's just me and them traveling. And every vacation is a learning experience where we're like, okay, this went well, this didn't go well. We're going to add in this. Here's this visual of what our rules are. Or I have a whole point system we do when we're on vacation. So it's really like, it's so hard to travel with neurodivergent kids. And I want people to be able to do it because
Yeah.
it's so, my kids love traveling. It's been hard at times, but they love it. And I don't know, I'm like really excited. I'm like, where are we gonna go with it? Because I think like there's just so many ways to help support families and help support kids in this space and make it really meaningful and functional.
Yeah, and I mean, I live it too. Like my kiddos, they're a little younger, but 2, 4, and 6. And when we're on planes and we're having meltdowns, I'm like, okay, I'm learning from this to help support my families.
Yeah.
Like we know now that we're a family of 5. Whatever kid is like the kicker is sitting behind my husband, or yeah, they sit behind my husband, so they're kicking my husband's seat versus a
Mm-hmm.
stranger. Because when they're kicking a stranger's seat, my anxiety is through the roof.
So high. Oh my gosh, I've
Yes.
been there. I'm like,
And
stop it, stop it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if I can't be the calm one,
Yeah.
it just creates a domino effect.
Did you guys see that video that's going around of a guy in the airplane? There's a kid screaming, and then another passenger screamed at the kid,
No.
"Screaming in my ear!" Ah! And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean,
No.
I'm very thankful. The passengers around me have all been very kind. I've had meltdowns with babies. I mean, I've traveled since kids have been 2 months old.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone to Hawaii, a 10-hour flight. Like we've had our some crazy flights where I have been very anxious, and people overall have been very supportive.
So I have a question because obviously a lot of people, especially if they're not parents yet, right? When it comes to traveling, can you share about like because you can take a car seat if your child's younger, so like the whole car seat, and also too if you're a parent, guys, your diaper bag does not count like as you don't have to pay for it; it's already included. So like
Yeah,
little
and the
facts that
stroller.
you want to know, because that's also something that could be aversive, right? Like, oh, I don't want to travel because I gotta, you could bring your car seat. You can also there's strollers that also fold down and collapse so that you can walk your baby to the whole have a carriage to help with everything. So
Yes, the Mountain Buggy Nano was the first one that you could put in the overhead. I researched the heck out of strollers because I was like, we are going to travel and I'm going to need to make it as easy as possible for myself.
Yeah,
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 now there's a lot more.
we
Yeah.
have one of those that fold down. I think we have like the G Pocket All Terrain or
Okay.
something, I think. But yeah, same thing. You throw it in the overhead. Car seats, my youngest still, we put in a car seat. That's how the only way he will nap. He won't nap if he's in a regular seat or sitting in my lap. So we do the car seat for him. The car seat does have to be in a window seat. That is one thing. Make sure you book a window seat
Mm-hmm.
for that car seat. There's a fly safe harness as well, which is like a 5-point harness, I believe, and it goes over the like seat,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's kind of more support than just like that airplane seat. So that's kind of the middle. Like if you're kind of outgrown the car seat, but you don't feel comfortable yet with the kid, just with the airplane seat belt, that's a nice mid option. um, yeah, the strollers, I mean, I've brought a huge wagon, and that counts as like an item that we don't pay for. Like, yeah, I mean, it folds up, but,
yeah.
but I didn't have to pay to check that. I mean, we, being a family of 5, try to fit everything in 2 suitcases because that is the hardest part is getting from your car to the check your bags, like managing the kids, the suitcases, like make sure you have a plan for that because if you have too much stuff, it is really challenging.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
actually saw a family that would check in the car seat because you know how it comes in the bag, the car seat
Yes.
bag, and they put clothes inside the car seat bag because it's free.
that makes me so nervous. I would be so afraid I would lose stuff.
So, well, and some airlines are not as nice as
Yeah,
others. I have had ones where they've made people like remove stuff. So, like we use the car seat on the plane, so that's would just be annoying for me to like have to unpack all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. But I've thrown like, I mean, we will throw like a bag into with the car seat, so it's just a less bag to carry to the airplane. But yeah, just be cautious if you're checking the car seat.
They might
They
check.
may check.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful that my kids are older because now they manage their stuff on their own. They're so good in the airport and they each have their own suitcases and I give them each a tote bag. So packed in their suitcase is a tote bag, which is the stuff that they'll bring keep with them on the plane. So right before we board, they pull out their tote bags and then they just throw their suit and put whatever they want in it and then they just throw their suitcase up in well, I do because they're not tall enough yet, up in the overhead, and I give them a gallon size bag and I'm like, you pack your own snacks, and I give you a sandwich and I'm like, you have to have food. Like I'm like, I don't care if you eat the whole flight, but you have to have some kind of food on with you. And the extra clothes. They're just very good at all of these things now. But I feel like I can remember feeling so overwhelmed where I'm like, I have the stroller and I'm pulling a suitcase and you don't want to be in the stroller. So now you're walking next to me. And there's like, and now I have to go down an escalator or like wait for the elevator and you're over here. I remember feeling so overwhelmed with all of that. It's like so much better. But it was worth it, all of that, like being stressed out because now they're so used to it. They know what to expect.
And they
That
also got access to the experience.
Yeah.
Many people travel at all, so they don't have that experience to see what it's like in another country or a different state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my kids, to be honest, like this last summer, I didn't do birthday like parties. I took my two oldest to Disney. I went with just like the two of them. And because they don't remember, like the trips are what they remember. It's not
Yeah.
like the birthday parties and things like that. The presents they opened, I'm like, they don't even, for Christmas. The one thing my son asked Santa for, he played with for 10 minutes and has yet to touch it since.
Yeah.
I know.
So like trips have so much more meaning for my kids, and they constantly are asking like, where are we going next? And they did get suitcases for Christmas, so I'm interested to see how that goes. I got
Are
Yeah,
they two-wheeled or four-wheeled?
four.
Okay, so my 7-year-old will take a running start and then hop on top of his suitcase and go flying down the airport. And I'm like, ah, that is like the one thing, especially when you get those like ramps where it's
Oh,
not
geez.
like, it's like a slight ramp down. So like Newark Airport has a lot of like slightly
Yes. Yeah.
descending, but it's not like a steep ramp.
yeah, yeah.
And he just goes like flying down.
Boy.
I just got a suitcase too for my daughter. She's 3 off a TikTok shop, and it's one that they can sit on top of. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, and it also detaches, so I could use it as like a little stroller if I'm overseas without like having a whole actual stroller. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Mm, nice.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had stuff like that when they were littler. I feel like it's I don't know. I think we have like the whole airport down to a science at this point where they're like pretty good. I just traveled without my kids and I was like, "Oh man, I miss them in the airport because we're like so like a little well-oiled machine here where we understand they know what to do." I don't know, they're really I feel like it's been but you have to lay the groundwork for all of that. Like it didn't happen overnight. It's been, 11 years of traveling with my older son
Yeah.
and like setting these expectations, but he will pack, like I give him his own packing list and he'll pack his own stuff. He's like my kids are the most independent traveling. I feel like, will they put away their laundry? No. But will they pack their own suitcase? Yes.
I mean, my husband and I say that it's sometimes easier. Like if we have a week home, like over, but we didn't go anywhere between Christmas and New Year's, and it was
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, it's sometimes easier to travel just because we're like, go, go, go. They have
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
to do, and they love it. Like my kids are pretty good. The youngest
Yeah.
is but like the practice runs, I mean, Christina, you mentioned before the practice runs at our local airport. So there should be one in the spring. They haven't announced the date yet, but they do have them across the country. Boston, I think it's April 4th, which I don't know why they did the day before Easter, but they did.
Mm,
So that's,
No, that's like a big travel day too.
I know it's a big
yeah.
travel day, and it's like people may like be trying to like see family and stuff. So I don't know
Yeah.
if they'll be around, but that is as of right now. When I last checked, that was the date because I'm flying out from Boston the day before, and I was like, oh, I'm just missing this.
Yeah.
But they have an event for practice runs at the Boston airport the 4th, and then I don't know when Bradley's will be.
What is the website or the program that families can Google for those that are listening?
So it is the Wings Over Autism.
And we'll put it in the show notes too.
Yeah, or Wings for All with the arc, and then you go to their site, and then there'll be you can sign up for like on the alert list of when events will be.
Mm.
So that's nice. Like if I've seen them have them in Texas, things like that as well.
Do
And
kids ever get like this is what I would worry about maybe with some of my learners who like do a kind of understand flying but need more practice. Have an issue then that you like don't you do this whole process and you don't go anywhere, you don't end up anywhere?
so most kids have been okay. So like the Bradley International one, that's just so you guys know, autism double check, which is different than what I just mentioned. But so what we did was like we got our tickets at the gate. We went through TSA pre-check. We waited to board. We boarded the plane. We kind of sat there, did the announcements, and then we deplaned. So yeah, you're not going up in the air. Some kids, I think overall they were okay with that. It was like a nice first step. I mean,
Mhm.
some kids aren't even going through TSA, so like they have to practice a few times to just get through TSA. Other kiddos, I had a kiddo who unfortunately like wouldn't board the plane. The family was going to go to
Mm.
Disney, and they said, you know what? We'll do a cruise out of New Jersey instead. So we don't have to worry about the plane. So it's
Mhm.
like a kind of a nice place for families to determine where their kiddo is and how we can move forward from there.
Mm.
Do we need to keep practicing, or are we ready to take that next step and do the next step be an actual flight?
It's good baseline data.
Yeah, especially because it's an investment. It's expensive, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Mhm.
okay, let's test this, see how it goes. If not, we'll just
Yeah.
find out sort of.
I actually had a meeting with someone earlier today. What was his name? It was hanksfriends.org. So he's out of Texas, and they are doing an event with Challenge Air where they're like getting a hangar for the day. I think it's March 21st is the day for like if anyone's in Texas in the Dallas area. So it's a hangar for the day, and there's just private planes. So they're like little planes, but they can just go up for 20 minutes, come down, like hang out, get to like meet other people within the autism community there. So he said Challenger does events other places. I haven't had a moment to look at it because I just met with him this morning, but I was going to look and see if there's other events around the country that do similar types of things where it's a small plane. It's a lot different, but at least you're getting up in the air, feeling the air pressure, things like that.
Mhm.
So that may be like a next step for families as well.
What a great opportunity to practice, especially going
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
And also too, I like that they're smaller planes, right? So it's like, all right, and then we could kind of scale up with the bigger commercial one.
Yeah.
And more people and more process and all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
So for families that are considering traveling, right? What are like your favorite tips to give somebody that's considering it? Also too, like, can you share like if someone wanted to get your services, like what is the average timeline to kind of be proactive to plan and before you
That's a good question.
Yeah. So I'll start with kind of what I recommend and then my services stuff. So, like for airline flights and things like that, the seating really important. So, younger kids putting behind a family member if you can for the kicking or just disruptions. Also, kind of like where in the plane you are. If it's a kiddo who is going to want to get off that plane as soon as they get into the gate, like making sure you are up front, that may be
Mhm.
more expenses. Is it a kiddo that's going to want a window seat? To be able to look out, making sure there's that. Or some people prefer the aisle so they have easy access to like the bathroom, things like that. I mean, those bathrooms are very small. So making sure they're going to be okay in small bathrooms. And also that flush is so loud.
I still hold my ears.
Yeah. I mean, I often just send my kids out first and then I flush behind them once they're already
Mhm.
out. I mean, there are like little strategies like that. They don't have to be in there. Going through the airline, like we said, those TSA cares, using the sunflower lanyard, getting TSA pre-check if you can. Those are all helpful strategies. And then like the theme parks, just seeing if they have an accessibility pass, or cruise ships. Like I'll be the one that contacts the cruise ship for families to see like the can we get priority or boarding without having to wait in the long lines? Can we have that quiet area in the dining area? Do they have sensory bags that we could have, or like some have toy lending programs so that you can have toys in your room? So things like that, just making sure that's all taken care of for the families. And then I'm trying to think of other, like, I mean, I have a family right now. They just got to Switzerland yesterday and then they're going to Italy. So just making sure like the mom wanted to, it's a son, he's 16 and very tall, like the bed, making sure there's no, like some beds have like the thing at the end, like it can't have that because his legs go over. So like reaching
Yeah.
out to hotels, like I do that for every one, things like that.
The toilets are so different when you leave America, guys. Depending on where you're going, you got a lot of different versions of
Yes.
how you go use the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah. And the food, that was one big concern, is just making sure, like the mom wanted to make sure all the hotels, there was a grocery store nearby because he probably wasn't going to eat when they go out to eat. She wanted to make sure she could get some milk and some bread, things like that. So all the hotels had grocery stores near. And so like my services, I mean, your budget is going to make a big difference of when you're booking and how long you have to save. So if you're wanting a big elaborate trip and need a year to save, you're going to be booking out. I mean, I'm already booking people into 2027, so a year out. Yeah. Um, I had families that are interested in Disney. Disney hasn't released 2027 yet, so we have like a waiting list because they want to be able to start saving.
Mhm.
So, but I've also had families that are booking April break, which is in the next few months.
Mention that, right, Rachel? So, because those are all kind of salient days that are common for a vacation, right? So, can you kind of share estimates? Like, obviously, not the actual price, but like on average, if a family wants to go to Disney for like a family of four for 3 days with flights included and services, what is that budget that they should be proactive to kind of start planning for?
Yeah, I mean, it really does vary, to be honest. Like February break flights are probably going to be maybe even 3 times more than if you fly in the summer. Disney also, the summer has some crazy deals they just came out with. So it's much cheaper to go to Disney in the summer. You could probably do all in for a family of four for a few nights or a few days in the parks, probably around 5,000 in the summer, but April break may be closer to like 10,000. I mean, it can really range. The breaks really bring up the price, flights especially, but also like the hotels, and then Disney
Mhm.
tickets. The park tickets are more when it's crowded. So summer is the best time to go to Disney. It's hot, but it's cheapest.
Really,
The
I would
most
have thought
crowds.
like around like Christmas time, like the
Christmas
October.
is It's expensive. Yeah, so Christmas is very expensive. October, because they have the Halloween and Disney, that can be expensive. But like if you're going other places other than Disney, the fall can be on the cheaper end. It could be hurricane season, so you have to take that into consideration
Mm. Yeah,
for like
yeah.
those tropical places. I say like the fall, like if you want to go somewhere tropical, do a cruise because they're going to reroute if there's a hurricane coming. You're not going to be sitting on an island with a hurricane coming. They'll go somewhere else.
You'll still get
Right.
So cruising's like kind of I mean, they'll do their best. You may be a little more wavier than normal, but you usually can somewhat avoid on a cruise.
And what's like the price tag for a cruise, right? What is the
Yeah,
average?
like
What is those kind of go to?
yeah, so I mean, I have a family going that just I have an autism family. They just booked Utopia of the Seas, which is a newer ship with Royal Caribbean for they're going
Mhm.
4 days over April break. It was like I think it was like maybe 4,000 for the 4 nights. That I mean that includes everything though. You've got your food, well, not everything. Like you got all your food included. So that's
Mhm.
a big saving. That kind of all it's not all inclusive because drinks aren't included, but you get that feeling. And then they are going on an autism on the seas cruise. So doing the respite as well. So that was another 1,500, I believe. And
Okay.
then flights, I mean, April break flights around Easter are expensive. So that was an expense as well.
Those are all great like ideas for them to kind of be like, okay, I gotta say, let me save $100 every 2 weeks if it's 12 months, you know, depending on
Yeah,
what
and
they
I
say.
mean, you can reach out now. Like a lot of places, it's just the deposit. Disney, it's a $200 deposit you put down when you book, and then 30 days prior to your arrival is when your final payment is due. So you have a ton of time to save. And Disney also like is easy to move. So if you put down the deposit for say October and then decide, hey, you know what, let's move it to December. It's pretty easy to do that as long as like there's availability. Cruising, there
Hmm.
are fees that come with moving, but it is possible. It's $100, I believe, per person for a
That adds
majority of,
up.
yeah. But you can, if you book something and decide it's not going to work out, you can move your cruise as well.
This is like a little bit of a change of pace, but I'm wondering your best success. Like, what is the success story you've had with a family? Like maybe somebody who'd never traveled before,
Yeah.
or just something like a wow. I can't.
Yeah,
This made me feel so great.
so I'm trying to think when it was. It was must have been September 2024.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's September 2024. I met a family at the Autism Flies event at Bradley. It was a single mom and her son, and she also had brought her parents. And her son had never traveled. He was really into like big boats, airplanes, but he had never actually traveled. So she really wanted to do a cruise for him. So we looked at all different types of cruises. They ended up, the Autism on the Flies event was successful. He went on the plane. So she was like, okay, let's go ahead and move forward and let's do a Disney cruise. So they booked the Disney cruise. The flight down was amazing. She did bring her parents. So I will have to say that it was three adults to one child,
Mm-hmm.
but they had an amazing time. Like the pictures she sent me, she created like a little video, like he's so happy meeting all the characters,
Aw.
like swimming, like you see him on a big float in the ocean. It was really sweet. And they actually just booked, they're going to do Royal Caribbean this year, so they're booking another one because it was so successful. So yeah, it was so exciting, like seeing everything kind of from the beginning of like the trial run to like it actually happening, and now we're comfortable, we can do it again.
Yeah, that's amazing. That must be
Yeah.
so wonderful for her as a
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
But also too fulfilling for you to know like
Yeah.
your services is like, oh my God, it's so needed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then I had another family who they had done Disney in the past, and it was with the old disability pass services. They had to walk up to the ride, say they wanted a pass, and then they'd give them like a ticket to come back later. And that was a disaster for their son because he saw the ride. He wanted to do it then.
Fair.
So now the disability pass, you check in, like you don't have to go to the ride until it's your time. And so when I explained that to them, they were very excited because they're like, okay, that was our issue. Like that was what made Disney miserable for us. So they went this last year, April break, and it ended up being a great trip. So they were very happy.
Aw, that's so
Yeah.
great too. That's
Yeah.
it's like really wonderful. And it's nice that that's been because I could see that too. I feel like I would know so many kids who would not understand, who struggle with that like receptive language of like, we're gonna come back later. They're like, I
Mhm.
don't know what that means. It's in front of me.
Mhm.
Like it's nice to see that Disney's changed that.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
So I have a question. What advice would you give families that might be a little not sold on traveling? Like
Yeah.
what?
I mean, I typically will jump on the phone with families, be like, what are your family goals? Kind of start there. What are your challenges? Why, like, what are the challenges that you feel are holding you back from traveling? And then how can we address those so that one day travel can be possible for you guys? And like, a lot of times these families just, they don't know the resources. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know that, like, I want to go on a cruise, but I'm terrified my child's going to have a meltdown and I'm not going to have any support. And I'm like, okay, well, here's Autism on the Seas. Like, here's these resources available. So just sharing those resources really is kind of like that first step that helps families realize like there are
I could do
things
this.
that we can make the trip accessible, and their supports there for them.
Yeah, because I know a lot of families. I mean, a lot of families don't even take their children to like the grocery store. Like they avoid like social interactions. But it's so important to expose our friends to the world around us, right? It's like just to be patient, have grace, and understand what is available
Yeah.
for families to have a successful trip or
Yeah.
even attempt it, right?
And I mean, some families may not want to go to theme parks, the beach, things like that. But what if there's a family member that lives on the other side of the country and you guys like need to go see them, like a grandparent? Like
Mm-hmm.
if they can't come to you, you need to get to them. It may become a family emergency where you need to be able to get there. Like if we never even consider these experiences, then that's going to make that day even harder to fly out.
Right. Right. That's such a good point. Is that like not for like I'm so obsessed with travel, I can't imagine not sharing that with my kids. But you're right, like not everybody feels that way about it,
Yeah.
but there is some necessity to travel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I worked at my town has an Italian festival, and during the summer I was there, like just sharing Italy and how I can help support families booking Italy. And people would walk by, and I would just like sometimes be like simple question, do you like to travel? And people would be like, nope, I like to stay in my backyard. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, okay.
I'm like, I guess some people do. They like their little community and they don't leave it. But sometimes you may have to actually leave.
Right. Right. Sometimes things come up and you have to go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I want to switch gears a little bit because you are also part of the team behind BCBA at the Seas,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. BCBA is
Yeah.
at sea.
Yeah. Can we talk about that? How do we get BCBAs to travel more?
Yes, yeah. So, as a BCBA and a mom of three, it is hard for me to get to conferences. Like I consult to public schools still, so like taking PTO is can be a little tricky. I like to use my vacation time to travel with my family, and I was like, I never go to conferences anymore because of this. So why don't we combine the two? Like my kids love cruising, I can bring them with me, and I can have a continuing ed event. So we are doing BCBAs at Sea. It is February 14th to the 1st, 2027. So still plenty of time for people to join, but I
Hmm.
mean, I shouldn't say plenty of time because it is a very popular event. We will sell out. But what the plan is, the cruise is out of Miami and there are 2 cruising days and 4 port days. Right now, the ports are Jamaica, the Bahamas, Grand Cayman Islands, and then Lapidie, Haiti, which we'll see if that one changes. Right now, they're
Hmm.
not sailing the rest of this year, I just saw. But so that may become a different port. Yeah. But right now, you'll get to enjoy those ports because the CEs are the cruising days. So when we are cruising, we will have the conference space for continuing ed event. And we'll have 16 CUs you can come and join for. And it's just like one track. So we're keeping it pretty simple for the first cruise. So we're slowly announcing the speakers, but you'll be able to, if you want to do all 16 Cs, you can do that. If you want one day just to do a half day and hang with your family the other day, like it's up to you. You do whatever you want. But it will be a lot of fun. We'll have a networking event that Christina's going to be part of with ABA Versus. So they'll be doing networking event on the cruise ship where we can kind of all mingle, get to know each other.
Yes, you
Yeah.
guys, as a business owner, this is a write-off. So
Yeah, I mean, I've
Very.
had a lot of people that have registered. That's their CE like credit they get from their company. I had one person, it was like December 30th, and he's like, I need the receipt to submit today. I'm booking this today. So he got his whatever credit he got for 2025. He got it in just in time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, guys, I'm glad Rachel said that. So depending on your company, as a BCBA, some companies will give you guys like what do you call
Stipend.
it? A stipend. So like when I started, my company gave me a $500 stipend, right? So you could use that 500 stipend towards this trip and then just pay the difference. Or you
Yeah.
could ask them if they're going to cover the whole thing.
Yeah.
But ask when you're going on interviews about any CEU continuing education stipends.
Yeah, and I mean, so we have like a variety. So I have some people that have registered where they are bringing their family, like their husband, kids, but then also grandparents, in-laws, like the whole crew is coming. And then I have others where it's just them and then they're rooming with another BCBA. So that's also splitting the cost and making it cheaper. A room that was $3,000 is now $1,500 per person, and then the registration fee. So it's like a reasonable week-long vacation. You're getting CUs, you're going to meet other BCBAs.
Get a tan.
So yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Go ahead, Nicole. I think.
Are you looking for sponsors or anything, or is this all covered in the registration fees?
So the registration fee does cover a little bit, but yeah, we are looking for sponsors. So I now that it's 2026, I know people are starting to look at their budgets and can start
Yeah,
considering that for sponsorship. So yes, definitely sponsors. We have different tiers on our website, TL Escape. .com. So if you tlescape.com, and then there's the homepage, there's the whole like cruise information. So it goes through like each day, the ports, and then there's frequently asked questions. There's all kinds of answers to that piece, but then there's also like a sponsorship info. We have different tiers on there, but we're willing to kind of create a package to your needs. So if you're
amazing.
wanting to give a certain amount, but you want it to make sure that each attendee is getting a notebook with your branding on it or something like that, we can work as a team and figure out what that is for you. So there's different things that can be covered, and there's like little things like $500 for hosting like the coffee stand for the day. Yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
cool. I
super
love
exciting.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, TL Escape is our brand. So you can email us at events@tlescape.com if you have questions about the cruise. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch with us. On our website, there is a contact form. You can fill that out as well. I will say I've had people reach out like asking how they could be speakers. Right now, we have our speakers booked. Like we've got kind of everyone lined up.
Amazing.
Yeah. So unless something happens, maybe we'll have a backup list that we can put you on. But right now, we're kind of already figured that all out. But we'll have more of these. We're hoping to make it an annual event.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. And this is your
Yeah,
first
that's amazing.
inaugural.
Yes, yes, this will be the first. Yeah. I was actually on a cruise with veterinarians in February. It was just I was booked like my family booked, and it happened to be like it was people that I know from my company. They were doing a CE event for veterinarians. And so it was like the similar thing. And when I was there, I was like, you know what? We need this for BCBAs. Like they've
Yeah.
been very successful for them there. I think on like year 5 they have right now of doing it. And like, I mean, they've kind of got like a nice community. A lot of people have been repeat, do it every year because they love just the community they've built.
Yeah, it's like see you on the cruise. I feel like it gives you a way like to see friends or like to travel with other people that you might not otherwise get to see or live in other parts of the country or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you get to vacation with your friends. I mean, when you
Yeah.
go to a conference, it's you're not bringing your family typically. So it's a great way. Like I saw someone the other day who registered and her kids are the same age as my two oldest or my two youngest. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like my kids will have friends they can play with
Yeah,
and get to know. So
I love that. I
yeah.
was gonna
Yeah.
say something too, but I forgot. The networking piece, especially like on social media, like we get to leverage like podcasts and social media to connect with other experts and other people that are in this ABA niche space, right? Because it could be so lonely in our field. So it's nice to be able
Yeah.
to pair a community that we already are part of, but also that leisure aspect and social skills for us to also kind of come together.
Yeah, I mean, burnout is so huge. You constantly are seeing it talked about in the BCBA field. And so this is like
Not
a
invest.
great way to like just take a break. You're not going to be doing a conference every day. You'll get to go
Right.
to 4 different ports and enjoy yourself. The evenings you'll be on the cruise ship can enjoy yourself. There's shows, there's all kinds of entertainment. So it'll be fun.
So if you're interested, it's BCBAs at the Seas.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this will all be in the show notes. Don't worry. Don't worry. So that's, I mean, it's amazing. I think it's so great. I wish my kids were younger because what is hard for me is they still have, we don't have the February break.
So yeah, so my kids just get the Monday, Tuesday off. So
Yeah.
they're only going to miss 3 days of school, which
Yeah.
isn't too bad, I
Isn't
feel.
too bad. Yeah. Yeah. No, my oldest is 11. So I feel like they start to get more serious about when you miss school as they get older. And I would guess that we usually do. See, every district is different. It must be so hard to pick, like, when are we going to do this
Yeah.
universal thing? You just have to pick a date. But their school is usually the Friday and the Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll pull them from school. I don't know. I'm only up to April. I'm one of those people who would be calling you for April break because I'm only up to planning April break. We're gonna go to Toronto. Because we're also my family's chasing trying to see all 30 baseball stadiums.
That's a fun, I know. Yeah, that's a fun
Yeah.
trip like thing to do. That's
So we'll
cool.
be we'll be staying in the hotel where you can see the baseball games
Cool. Okay. Yep.
in Toronto. We're gonna we got one of those rooms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not too late. I mean, people are booking February still. Like and that's a month away.
Yeah.
Obviously, availability is slim. And I mean, to be honest, like the big holidays, we all know Christmas to New Year's, we're going to have off. Like I feel like a lot of parents, like we have work off. And so that is like, I mean, beaches and a grill is practically booked right now for that. We were going to do an Autism on the Seas week that week. And we're like, oh, there's only like 2 rooms left. And that's a year out. So there are places where if you're wanting to go, you need to be reaching out like ASAP. But then there's other places where like, yeah, we can find something for you next month. It may not be the top hotel there, but we can still find something that will be great for your family.
Amazing. Amazing. And then also, sorry, just back to BCBA is you also help work on the ABA Cares conference, correct?
Yeah, I'm helping with that conference. So I'm going to be a panel or I'll be on the panel. And then I'm helping with like the hotels. So, like with the
Mm.
Learning Escape, we can help you guys if you are putting on a conference, a retreat, any of that. Like we can help you
Oh.
find that location and get the room block set for you and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, more BCBA retreats where,
Yeah.
I saw somebody who was doing one near maybe like in Wyoming or something. I was like, "Oh, that looks gorgeous."
Yeah, like a ranch or something. Yeah. We can help with
Yeah.
that.
Maybe you guys
Yeah.
can collaborate and you guys do retreats. We could start popping off retreats for the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right? I
that'd be
love
cool.
that idea. I love that.
I like it.
Yeah. Where can people find you? I mean, we've already talked about your website, but what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so my email, Rachel Morelli at Travelmation. So that's with an N, as in like Mickey Mouse.
Mhm.
So that's my email for like my travel piece. I have the website, rachelmorellitravel.com. That's probably the easiest way. You just fill out the form, which is like a quick little information of like like if you're looking for a trip or need support with accessible travel. And then I will reach out to you. And then, yeah, so like my services when I'm booking a trip for you, there's no additional fee. So when you book a trip at Disney, it's the same cost to use me as your travel advisor. Like I'm not charging anything additional for that. I mean, if you're just reaching out for like resources, there's slight fees just for that piece. But yeah, if you're booking a trip, you don't have to worry about any additional cost. And I'm trying to think if was there anything else? I think that's it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like on LinkedIn, I share a ton of resources. So my handle there, Rachel, I mean, you could search Rachel Morelli on LinkedIn. And there's all kinds of like little resources for accessible travel or just travel in general.
Amazing. Amazing. And if you could recommend one place for people to go, whether you're a parent or a professional or whatever, whoever you are, where's your favorite place to go?
My favorite place to go. There's so many different types of trips, but like if you're looking for something kind of like relaxing and not go, 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 I mean, I love Disney World, but it's exhausting. So
Yeah.
like my relaxing place would probably be like Aruba.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a great island where you can actually get out and explore. Some
Mhm.
of the islands they say stick to your resort, but Aruba we rent a car and we drive around. There's a donkey like sanctuary. There's a butterfly farm. There's like baby beach way at the point, which is like a nice calm beach for kids. And the food there is so good. That's like one of my favorite.
Oh, good to
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
It's
Aruba has
yeah.
amazing
one
food.
happy island.
Yeah,
That's
it really
that's
is. We're going back in April and I cannot wait.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of trips on your agenda. Where else are you going this year?
Boy, this year's busy. So my Travelmations conference is at Disney in a couple weeks. So I'll be going to Disney. The family will be staying home. So I just
Not
tell
so
them I'm
bad.
going to Orlando.
Yeah.
They don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, April break, we're doing Aruba. I will be going to Punta Cana Hard Rock for a work trip. at the end of April, I think, May. Yeah. And then we have a crazy trip this summer. My family, my parents, and my in-laws are going to Italy. We're Yeah, yeah. So my mom and my father-in-law, like our families are from Italy, so it's kind of been on our list to do. So it's this summer. We're gonna do a couple days in Lake Como, go down to northern Tuscany for a week. We're staying in a villa. My parents are then flying to France, and then my father-in-law and us are gonna go up to Venice and take a
Okay.
cruise out of Venice down to the Greek islands and Kotor Montegro, I think is how you say it, and then back to Venice. We'll stay a couple days in Venice.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually my husband's gonna fly home with the baby. I'm sending him
Okay.
back. He doesn't have enough PTO. I have summers
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
And then I'm taking the two big kids, I say big, they're 6 and 4, to meet my parents in France. They have a house there. So we're gonna stay at their house for a little bit and then we'll fly home.
Amazing. Oh my
Yeah, so
gosh, I'm
that's like
so
our big,
jealous.
big trip
Yeah.
for the year. And I'm interested. It's a month total, so I'm interested to see how it goes.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to see how it goes.
I know.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. My brother's
Yeah.
they're thinking of going to Italy for the summer. I think I'm going to take my mom's British, so I think we're going to go up to the north of England, which is not
Nice.
somewhere that's on most people's travel list, but is one of my favorite parts of the world. And then maybe to Portugal. I think I might take my kids there after. I haven't quite decided yet, but
Portugal's on my list. I've heard it's very kid friendly and a great place to visit. So maybe
yeah.
once we get there.
Yeah, I'll let you know if we make it. I have to decide, I have to plan it. I get overwhelmed with the planning.
Well, that's where I come in. I can help you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll reach out because I like get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
It's so true.
it
I
is.
really get
It's a lot.
overwhelmed.
I
Yeah.
mean, I can help with the planning and get things booked for you, and then you'll be
Amazing.
on your way.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. That's so great. Well, we have to wrap up.
Yes.
Now on my way to a CEU event because I'm also working on planning my day-to-day life a little bit better. But it was so nice to have you, Rachel, and we would love to have you back in the future. And I can't wait to hear about all of these exciting events and to hear about how your business grows to help continuing to support families with kids with autism.